Yeah, I gotta.
Dorsey's still getting hooked up. Started a little bit early. God forbid it's an 8 a.m. game. We started at 7:57. First shot on goal. Saved. West Fargo. And they exit the zone. Shot in. Handled readily by Banbury. Two minutes in. Minute 40 in. Face off in the Edina zone. We do have music today. Nice improvement over the previous arena. Pravita goes in long. Shot. Bouncing puck. Rebound not able to be collected. Good pressure there from the Hornets. Puck comes back out of the zone. Darlene up to Wilkins. Wilkins brings it in. Dorsey's got it, pops it below. Pravita's trying to get there. He's tied up in the middle. Missile goes in the corner to pick it up. Out comes West Fargo. Dorsey's hand covering the lens.
All right, Mizzelt cycles behind the net, and he's picked up by two Fargo people as he tries to punch it out of the zone. Fargo blasts it back down, and Darlene picks it up in the corner. Darlene surveys, gets it to Mizzelt. Mizzelt now through the neutral zone, drives up through the red line, gains the line, sneaks it through from his knees, around the net, looking for an outlet pass with one hand on the timber. Sliding it across, Hester drives it down. Right in the slot area. Firing shot. Ewers pushes it right over the cage. As now Fargo tries to drive out. Up on the wall. All the way down. And it's Potter from behind. Banks it up the boards to Nolan. Nolan shovels it. Intercepted on the line by Fargo. It's punched right back in. Potter picks it up in the corner. Wheels, deals, looks up. Hester tries to roll it up. A one-time cranker is turned away by Banbury as Ewers picks it up on the far side. A bit too far for Nolan. And recovered by West Fargo as they roll it down. Both teams evenly matched as we enter this championship Sunday. Nolan from behind the cage. Rolls it up to Ewers. Ewers across the blue line. Slides it to Hester. Hester gains the line. Wheels in. And his shot hits traffic. Can Potter hold the line? Banging, he does. And a huge hit as Potter is taken out by West Fargo. And no call. West Fargo rolling through, gaining on the right side. Wheeling around the circle, shoveling a shot that goes wide. Ivany meets his man on the wall, picks it off. It's Ivany rolling through the neutral zone. He's got Ferrara with speed. Look at Ivany, toe dragging through. Ivany! Did you see it? With 11:30 in the first, Anders Ivany has broken the ice, and the Hornets are up 1-0. As mentioned, we started early, so our bus was a little bit behind in setting up. Nonetheless, we have captured all the action. Dorsey on the draw. Puck slides all the way back. Helmer throws it to Bauer. Bauer rolls it up to Ivany. Ivany pitches it down. Fargo from behind the cage starts the breakout process to Dorsey in the corner. Trying to center it just beyond. And Bauer turns the corner. Fargo from the backside. Rink-wide pass as they roll through the red line. Now gaining through, 2-on-1 situation. Rolling in, firing shot, waffled away. Glove down by Dorsey, right to Anders. Anders streaks up. He's trying to be pinched from behind, but he's toe dragging. Look at that, to Dorsey. Dorsey slides it through, and it's saved by the West Fargo tender. Beautiful play. Nice pass across. So what do we know about West Fargo? Well, if you look up Fargo, it'll say border town. If you look up West Fargo, it'll say border town that's a little bit further west. And that's all we know. Mizzle from the blue line fires it down. And it's saved. Nolan on the draw sends it back to Mizzle, who skates across the line. A firing shot goes wide. Fargo on the far wall, picks it up, tries to punch it out. Sliding across to Mizzle. Mizzle through the red line, and he pitches it down deep. Fargo retrieves behind the cage as they throw it up on the wall. Kervita tries to dish it down to Wilkins. It's punched back to Darlene. Darlene with a quick shot off the side of the net as Kervita bangs it down to Wilkins. Right across the crease. Nolan was in position, and the puck is sent high, and Mizzle gloves it down and throws it to the opposite corner. Wilkins looks, surveys, down to Kervita. Across. Kervita was boxed out. Mizzle pinches up, holds the zone. Boys battling in the corner. Nolan trying to come away with it. Fargo working it. Now, right up front, Kervita sliding it across. Oh, Nolan. He got handcuffed in his skates. Couldn't make the turn. Wilkins sent to the ice by a tall guy. Short side shot. Sniper Central. No, it's called off. There was no goal. How could this be? I saw it go in. But nothing. Oh, hometown ref. That was a goal. Nolan from the corner. Rolls up. Darlene punches it right back down to Nolan. Nolan. He was robbed, sent to the far side. It's Ewers, rolling in the corner, attacked by a tall guy. Now behind the cage. West Fargo rolls. Cycling as the Hornets press them down in their own end. And the puck is thrown out of the rink. That was a certified fresh goal, and it was taken away. And we will not forget that. The Hornets have been wronged with 9 minutes on the clock. And now it's payback time.
Middle of the net.
Dorsey on the draw with Hester and Ewers, backed up by Potts and Potter. Puck is sent down deep. West Fargo cycles around the net and looks for a lane. Up on the near side wall, punch past Potter. This should go down for the icing. And indeed, that is the call. It's kind of a funny viewing angle. We're pushed down to the blue line. It's just weird sight lines here. As Dorsey sets up. Puck tied up, slides back. Potts wheels across the line. Working it, picked up by Ewers. Ewers dancing across the blue line. It's still there. He fires. And it's saved by the West Fargo tender. Do we know what the mascot is of West Fargo? Someone should consult the interweb. If any fans at home know, give us a shout. So there's like 3 people watching at this hour. Dorsey slides it back to Potter. Potter fires. Off target. Ewers from the corner. Wheels, deals, looks. Potter punches it right back down behind the net. Hester to meet it in the corner. Now it's Dorsey on the circle. Looking. Dances across. Potter. Firing shot. Hits traffic. Now it's up on the wall. Ewers dancing. Trying to wheel it. Nice save by Potter as he throws it right back down. Dorsey and Hester wheeling in on the huge guy. Behind the net. Sliding up on the wall. West Fargo punches it out of the zone. And Potter stops it on the red line. But Fargo's persistent. Rolling across the line. Driving in. Around the circle. Potts keeping him to the outside. Good job. Dorsey sliding up to Hester. Hester dishes it up. Oh, it's stolen right in the slot. A firing shot. Hits traffic. Potter overskates. Hester overskates. A lot of overskating as now Hester tries to drive it up the wall. It's out of the zone as Fargo resets with speed across the line, wheeling in on the circle. Shot goes wide. Hester on the near side wall looks up. He looks for a lane. He skates through the neutral zone, through the red line, through the blue line. A lot of lines, firing. Ivany tries to pick it up. He's stood up by the tall guy. Now in the near side corner, wheeling up. Long stretch pass, intercepted by Ivany as he walks across the red line, slides it over. On the line, Bauer tries to roll through. He's pinched off. Ivany from the backside to Helmer. Helmer to Ivany. Ivany now with a clear lane as he rolls through. Is he going to get pinched off? I don't know. He's across the line. He picks up the puck, rolls in. Nice dipsy doodle into the slot. Firing shot. There it is. Oh, how did that get saved? Ferrara. Hats off to the West Fargo tender, but we still haven't forgot about the goal that was taken. What are they? We have confirmation that West Fargo is the Stampede. I do believe they have stockyards on the west side of West Fargo. Back to the point. Helmer rolls in, fires. Oh, yes, it's Helmer's red hot. It's his second goal of the tournament. At 6:44, the Hornets are up 2-0. He unleashed the Kraken. Pasture raised wrister from the point. And the Stampede goalie couldn't handle it. As Nolan works from the center circle. Ferrara sliding it back to Darlene. Darlene looks up ice. A saucer pass is intercepted across the line, and we get an offsides. And we'll do it right again. Mizzle from the backside, flipping it up to Nolan. Just beyond, now Ferrara chases into the Stampede end. Nolan gloves it down, holds his own. But Fargo's persistent, has to be cleaned up by Darlene. Darlene to Mizzle. Mizzle with speed, wheeling around the backside as he goes through and he gains the line. Into the slot, working it across. Now, down on the circle, firing it across. It's out front, it's Ferrara. He bangs, but nothing. All the way back to the point, a one-timer from Darlene was way to the right. From the back, a long fluttering pass, gloved down by Darlene as he punches it up just beyond Ferrara. From the backside, Stampede go D to D and throw it into the zone, and it's picked off by Anders. Anders rolls up the right side, through the slot area, wheeling, dealing, toe dragging, dipsy doodling, everything. Now he wheels it to Ferrara. Ferrara out front. Oh, just beyond Nolan. So now it's on the circle. Ferrara wheeling around. Looking. Loses the handle. Now the Stampede look to punch it out. Nolan holding it on the wall. And another long fluttering pass. Potter retrieves. Opportunity here. Long stretcher. Intercepted by Ivany. Ivany now through the neutral zone. All the way around. On Wilkins' backside. Centering pass. He's rubbed off the puck. And the Stampede cycle around the net with 5 minutes to play. From the back. Potts drives up. And he cranks down the Stampede player with authority. And we get an offsides. With 4:51 on the clock. Shots are 14-4. Favor of the Hornets. As Dorsey, Wilkins, and Kervita hold the front line with Potts and Potter. Dorsey sliding it all the way back to Potter. Potter looks up from the red line, punching it down into the Stampede zone and covered up. Dorsey on the draw, comes away to Wilkins. Wilkins pounds it behind the net. From the corner, he surveys. He looks. There it is to Dorsey. One-timer on net. Banging. Nothing. Back to the point. Potter forces it back down. Wilkins in, trying to drive it. Boys all piled up. Who's going to come away? It's the Stampede, as now they roll through the neutral zone with speed, trying to slide it through Potter. But Potter's too good. He throws it back up on the wall. Stampede go D to D as we got free-flowing hockey. Gaining the line, wheeling across, and stopping short. Now, driving behind the net. Potter meets his man, presses him into the glass. Potter trying to find some daylight as he throws it up to Wilkins. Dorsey in to help out, Potter in to help out. Everybody's helping out. Now, Stampede wheeling it across the blue line. From the point, it's driven right back down. From the near side wall, Wilkins pitches it out, and it sneaks past and rolls all the way down, and the Hornets go for a wholesale line change. Icing is waved off from the backside. Long stretch pass, wheeled across, intercepted by Hester, but still driving. Stampede throwing the slot, turned away by Nolan. Now Helmer picks it up, throws it up the glass into the neutral zone. There's a lucky break for Hester, who intercepts that, and he drives down into the corner. Tries to meet his man, pulls it off, but he's pinched. Ewers in to help out. Bangs his man into the glass. It's the Stampede now collects some speed, and Bowers shovels it over to Ewers. Ewers across the line, wheeling in. Ewers, can you turn it? No, he's pinched off. Stampede try to roll it up. Nolan picking it up. Tries a little soft backhander. It hits traffic as Helmer holds the line and punches it, but it sneaks out all the same. Bauer from behind the cage drops it off to Helmer. Helmer looks up. He's got Hester. Hester slides it up to Nolan just a bit far. Nolan ties up his man on the circle. Another deflection by Hester. So tries to roll through, and it's punched out. Nolan from the red line, drifting across, gaining, wheeling down the right side. On the circle, stopping short, picked off by the Stampede as they look to change their fortunes. Now, around the circle, a firing shot. Back to the point. Helmer throws it on net, it's legged aside, there it is! Nolan backs home the rebound. Payback for a goal taken away. We get it right back. And it is 3-0 with 1:59 in the first. Who said we'd be tired for this early game? I don't know. As Dorsey, Ferrara, and Ivany are up a front line. Bauer from the backside rolls across the line. Dorsey trying to center it. He's pressed in, but he still drives that puck back to Ivany. Ivany across the spot, knocked off the puck. And Helmer retrieves in the neutral zone. Sliding across to Bauer. Bauer fires it to Ivany. Ivany drives across, looks across, tries to toe drag. Centered out front, banging shot. Oh, Ferrara couldn't find the corner. Ivany throwing it down to Ferrara. Ferrara trying to center it. Dorsey fires! And saved by the Stampede tender.
2 steps.
Hornet fans voicing displeasure over some late hits. As Nolan, Kurvita, and Wilkins roll on, backed up by Mizzle and Darlene. Puck tied up on the dot, cycled around by the Stampede as they look to break out. Rolling up on the wall, Nolan banging it, thrown down by Kurvita. Stampede now, push it out, now a shot on net that's swept aside, and Kurvita races to the far wall. Wheeling, dealing. Stampede come away, a long pass, intercepted by Mizzle, who throws it back to Darlene. Sliding it all the way across, Darlene now, looking. Across the red line, pounds it down, and swept aside by the Stampede tender. 45 seconds left in the first frame. Trying to center it out front. Wilkins denied as the puck drifts behind the net. Wheeling up. It's the tall guy. Gaining speed through the neutral zone. Picked off by Darlene. Darlene shoveling it up. Wilkins now crosses the line, but he's denied. Across the blue line. 30 seconds on the clock. Wheeling in. Stampede looking. Bizzle in his skates. Denies him. Now Wilkins up on the board. Rolling through. It's a 3-on-2 situation. Curvita with speed. Gains the line. Tries to center it. And it's banked off a player. Out front. Mizzle fires. Hits traffic. Mizzle throwing it back, but it's intercepted. Stampede rolling back, and that's going to do it. First frame in the books. Hornets 3. West Fargo 0. Should be 4. All right, fresh 15 on the clock. Hornets up 3-0. This is Dorsey, Ewers, and Hester, and Potts and Potter. Potter from the backside. Up to Hester, who pitches it down into the Fargo zone. Rolling behind the cage. Fargo looks to break out. Shoveling it up on the wall. Picking it up. Pitchforking it out. Picked off by Hester. Hester rolls across the line. Slides it down. And Fargo deals from behind the cage, throwing it up the near side wall. Picked off by Potts. Potts fires. And it's saved by the West Fargo Stampede tender. Dorsey on the draw. Puck tied up. Ewers now wheels around the circle. Looking to center. Out front. Banked off a Stampede player. Hester pestering his man. Tying him up. Reversing course. Stampede now with speed. Trying to roll up. Rink-wide pass as they enter the neutral zone and slide across the blue line. Working their way in. A firing shot is turned away by Tyler. Stampede now. Picked up by Ewers, who throws, Ewers now across the line, 2-on-1, over to Hester. Hester fires. Saved by the Stampede tender. Hornets rolling, getting lots of shots, 23-6 on the shot clock. The Stampede are pressed down into their own end. Picked off. Nice job by Ewers to stop that play. Back to Potts on the backside. Rolls up, pitches it down into the corner. Ferrara with speed, trying to disrupt play. Doing a good job, tying up the huge guy. Comes away to Ivany. Ivany tried to toe drag. Centering pass deflected away. Stampede are just collectively stuck in their own zone. Now, sensing some daylight, a tall guy sweeps through the red line. He gains, he looks, he drags on the circle. Backhand shot sails over the net. Stampede firing it down low and to the near side. Ivany picks it up. shovels it up the wall, swept away by Nolan, just beyond Ferrara's reach. Oh, here's a break for Ferrara, rolling in. Ferrara wheeling around, trying to wheel it, nothing. Centering pass was denied and punched out of the end. Helmer sliding it to Bauer. Bauer looks up ice. He throws it. It's pitched down into the corner. Nolan shovels it back to Helmer. Helmer looks, fires, tips, off the clanker. Stampede now, reversing course. Throwing it up through the neutral zone, gaining, sweeping through, tied up by Bauer. It comes away to Helmer. Helmer shovels it up on the far side. Ferrara wheeling, dealing, firing a shot. It's off the side. It's up through the zone. No, Stampede have held it. They try to center it. Now it's off the side of the net. Bauer from behind the cage. Wheels around. He's rejected. Helmer fires it up anyway to Ferrara. And the puck rolls up on the sideboards. Both teams are battling behind the net. Stampede try to throw it back to the point. Intercepted by Ivany. Rolling with speed through the blue line. Curling in with one hand. Firing. Nothing. Can't get the shot off. And there's a broken stick. That's $300. Ivany over to Darlene. Darlene on the circle. Down to Ferrara. Centering pass. Oh, how was that saved? As Mizzle tried to pound it home, but was denied at 11:29 in the second. As Dorsey, Kervita, Wilkins roll on with Darlene and Mizzle. Back to Darlene. Darlene unleashes. It's hit out front. Kervita wheels around, slides it back, and now it's sent down to Wilkins behind the net. Wilkins trying to center. He's pressed to Kervita. Kervita bangs it, looking. In Wilkins' gate. Out comes a Wilkins. Wilkins, Dorsey. Oh, no, that was Darlene. And it was another clanker. Clank City clanking going on, but no goal. Dorsey on the draw, sends it to the back wall, chucks it right back down to Wilkins. Wilkins drives as he's pressed into the glass. Comes out front, Dorsey from the corner. Slides it back to Mizzle. Mizzle, quick shot, sails over the net. Darlene pinching up on the near side. Punches it right back down. Wilkins now driving it on the circle. Firing shot goes wide. Stampede now counters as they try to roll through. Wilkins tried to deliver a big check, but he blew a tire. Mizzle from behind the cage sweeps it up the near side wall. Pinched down by the Stampede as they hold the zone. Slides all the way down. And Darlene working his man in the corner. Pushes him into the boards. A lot of boys piled up. Comes away to Kervita. Kervita's got numbers. Rolls through, sends it to Wilkins. Wilkins across the line, and we get an off with 10:15 on the clock. So Nolan, Ewers, Hester, Potts, Potter. Nolan the draw, sends it to Potter, who pitches it down into the Stampede end from behind the net, wheeling up on the near side wall. Potts tries to hold the line. It sneaks through. Potter, last man back. He's being pushed off the puck. Stampede trying to center it. It's picked up by Potts, who looks for a lane. Picked off by the Stampede, who pitch it right back down deep into the Hornet end. Potter from the backside tries to blow it around. He's stopped. Ewers on the near side wall. It's picked up by the Stampede. They leave it to the point, drive in the circle. A firing shot is turned away by Banbury. But furious action as they try to wrap around. I don't know where the puck is. It's in the air and sent down into the Stampede end. From the backside, Stampede wheel through the neutral zone. Gain the line, work it across. It's on the point. A firing shot, legged aside by Banbury. From the backside, Stampede now driving, trying to get it out front. Through the crease, but nobody home. Stampede on the wall, working it, working it, working it. From the point, it's jammed right back down. Potter's going to meet his man in the corner. Battling. Picked up. Stampede trying to center it out front. Potts shovels it aside, and it's sent back down by the huge guy at the point. Rink-wide pass. Now, Ewers rolling through the blue line. Sends it down. He's pinched off the puck, and the Stampede collect behind. Nolan holding his man down deep. Around the ref. Pitched up on the near side wall. Sent out, but intercepted by Bauer, who throws it back to Helmer. Helmer from the backside to Bauer. Bauer wheels it across. He gets it to Ferrara. Ferrara rolls in, drops it to Dorsey. Dorsey over to, Ivany. What beautiful passing. Dorsey tries to bat it out of the air, and here come the Stampedes with speed, 1-on-3, as he tries to roll across the blue line. A long fluttering shot. No save needed by Bambury. Helmer from the corner. A long stretch pass up to Ivany. Ivany rolls across the red line, rolls across the blue line, and stood up on the boards as the Stampedes cycle behind the net. Naked out front, Ferrara tried a quick backhander, nothing doing. Ivany working it on the corner, comes away to the Stampede, who pitch it up on the wall. Bauer's gonna have to collect this as he rolls down, tries to slide it back up to Ivany. Ivany can't find it in his skates. He's on his knees. It's Ferrara. Ferrara fires wide. Stampede collect. Look up eyes. They got numbers. But it's tipped away, and Helmer punches it right back. Helmer slides to Bauer. A bit too far. Bauer collects in the corner. Looking up. Sliding it up the wall. We got something. We got a roughing call. And the Hornets will be on the man advantage with 7:16 to go in the second. Many calls could have been made, but these refs subscribe to more of a sense of frontier justice, letting the boys play. As Nolan, Hester, and Kervita roll on with Mizzleton and Bauer. Puck back to Mizzle. Mizzle slides it up to Nolan. Nolan on the circle. Rolls across. Leaves it to Mizzle. Mizzle looks. Drives it down to Hester. Hester on the circle. Looking for a lane. Sliding it down to Mizzle. Mizzle now. Short side shot. Denied. It's a Stampede now. Gain control and fling it out of the zone. Nolan picks it up at the red line. Cycles back. Leaves it to Bauer. Bauer now rolling up through the neutral zone. Across the line, stopping, setting up. Oh, and he's pressed into the glass. Hester comes in to sneak it. It's pinched up on the wall. Who's going to get it? Slide over to the near side. Picked up by Nolan. Nolan slides it across. Hester turns back to Mizzle. Mizzle looks. Bauer one-timer. Oh, he couldn't find the wood. As a Stampede drive it up on the wall. It's intercepted by Mizzle, who brings it in. Across, looking, firing again. Nothing. Now Nolan from the dot, fires. And it's gloved away by the Stampede tender at 6:07 with 52 seconds left in the man advantage. So we're going to have Ivany, Wilkins, Dorsey, backed up by Darlene and Ewers. Dorsey on the draw, sent back to Ewers at the point. Ewers looks from the point, sliding across to Darlene. Darlene down to Ivany. Ivany from the corner or from the wall, looking across, sliding it down to Wilkins. Wilkins from the corner, back to Darlene. Darlene from the point, drives in, tries to center it, picked off by the Stampede, who throw it all the way down. Or an icing. 25 seconds remain in the man advantage. So we'll do it again. Dorsey on the drop. Tied up on the dot. Stampede come away in the corner. Wilkins battles his man. All tied up. Ivany tries to come away. He's hassled on the wall. He drives it right back down into the corner. Wilkins now rolling in with using his body. He has to curl back in the corner. Looking. All the way back to Darlene. Tried to send it down to Ewers. Ewers on the wall. He's tied up. Just a bit far for Dorsey, but held. Darlene at the point. Oh, the shots are coming like rain. As Darlene holds at the point, slides it to Ewers. Ewers fires. Goes wide. Darlene at the point. Tries to bang his man off the puck, and here comes the Stampede. Rolling across the line. Working their way in. Firing a shot wide. Picked up by Ivany. Ivany rolling up the wall. He's tied up as Darlene is tied up, and Ewers has to race back to collect. Ewers tied up on the wall. Very physical. Oh, and another hit. They got to call this, and they did. Roughing is the call. And just as the penalty expired, the Fargo Stampede will be going back to the box. So with 4:34 on the clock, Hornets will go back on the power play. So we're going to have, what are we going to have here? We got Ferrara, Dorsey, Potter, backed up by Potts and Helmer. Ferrara on the drop. Off the draw. Potter tries to sneak it as he presses his man into the boards. Ferrara digging at it. Comes to the near side corner, and Stampede just try to shovel it out. It goes right by Helmer. It's got to be picked up by Potts on the backside. Potts to Helmer. Helmer sliding it through the Hornet end up to Dorsey. Dorsey wheels around and gains the line. Drops it to Helmer. Helmer rolling in around the circle, centering it to Potter, and he couldn't make the turn. Ferrara sliding it over. Potts down to Helmer. Back to Potts. A firing shot over the net. Now the Stampede have an opportunity as they race down. Hornets box him out. It's picked up by Dorsey. Dorsey looks from the backside, sliding it back to Dorsey. Dorsey now working it up, sliding it to Ferrara. Ferrara across the line, wheels in, looks at his options across, looking, now firing. And a save once again by the Stampede tender with 3:33 on the clock and a minute left in the man advantage. So we got Nolan, Kervita, and Hester. Picked up by Mizzelt and Bauer. To the right of the Stampede tender, Nolan on the drop. Puck slides back, and that's pounded around the near side. Mizzelt's going to have to pick this one up as it rolls down into the Hornet end from the backside. Mizzelt looks up, wheels, deals, slides across the slot, looking at his options. Down, across, the centering pass doesn't connect as Kervita sends it back. And this one's going to sneak out of the zone, and the Hornets will have to reset. Mizzelt now across the blue line. Leaves it. It gets punched down again, and Nolan sends it across to Hester. Hester across the line. He's trying to center it all the way across. It's up in the air. Nolan now sweeps around on the blue line. Looks down, gets it to Hester, but it's a bit too far. Kervita in the corner, or Mizzelt. Back to Hester. Hester loses the handle, and Bauer has to reset. He slides it up on the far side. Picked up by Mizzelt. Mizzelt walks across the blue line. He's in the zone. He's looking. He toe drags. He tries another toe drag. And he's denied as the Stampede pitch it up high. Nolan settles it down, throws it to Kervita. Kervita across the red line, across the blue line. Wheels in, looking to center. He stops short. Now, two guys on him. Hester in to help out. Bangs it up. Stampede, throw it up on the near side wall. The penalty has expired. All the way up in the air. Dropped down by Bauer, but picked up by the Stampede. Ooh, got a guy right on line. It banked off his skates, but it's pounded down nonetheless as Tyler stops it short behind the net. On the backside, throwing up to Curvita. Curvita through the neutral zone. Pounds it down into the Stampede end with less than 2 minutes to play. Stampede now driving for a breakout. A long stretch pass doesn't connect. We get an icing. So Dorsey, Ferrara, Ivany, backed up by Potts and Potter. Dorsey on the drop. Slides it back to Potts. Potts looks. Down to Ivany. Ivany on the wall. Shovels it down to Ferrara in the corner. Ferrara over skates. The tall guy wheels around. Dorsey trying to stop him. It's pitched up and out of play. With $1:30 left in this period. So we'll do it again. Dorsey on the drop, slides it to Ferrara. Ferrara pitches it across to Potts. Potts from the blue line, sends it down to Ivany on the circle. Wheeling around, loses the handle, but Potts picks it up. Potts drives it on net. It's lettering in the air. It's free. Ferrara turns, burns, fires. And it's saved by the Stampede tender. Off the draw, tied up, Stampede come away. Cycling behind the net, looking up. They fire it out of the zone, and it's all the way down into the snow. And Potter looks from the backside. Long stretch pass, bit too hot, sneaks all the way down with a minute left to play. From behind the cage, the tall guy wheels, throws it up on the near side wall. Rink-wide pass, Stampede looking to gain the line, across, a firing shot, knocked down by Bambury and covered up smartly. We're going to have Nolan Wilkins, Curvita, Bauer, Helmer. Off the draw, puck is punched back down, and Helmer looks from behind the cage, sweeping it up the near side wall. Curvita tries to bang it, throws it out of the zone. Nolan tries to pick it at the red line, and it's Sears' counter for the Stampede. They try to roll through, stopped by Helmer. Helmer pushed down to the ground as the Stampede are desperate in these final seconds. Banging up on the wall, comes away to Nolan, out of the zone. Punt right back down for an offsides with 20 seconds left. Off the draw from the backside. Pass to Curvita. Couldn't handle the speed. It's up on the line. Now Stampede driving in on the circle. Looking to center it. Looking short side. Nothing. Wrap around. It's free in the slot. Picked up by Curvita. Well done. Now the boys with numbers. They're going to run out of time as Wilkins rolls in. And a shot at the last second would have come too late. And that's where it stands after 2. Hornets 3, West Fargo Stampede 0. And we're going to get a resurface. And we'll see in about 10 minutes. Semifinal action. Don't go anywhere. Okay, start of the third period. Hopefully the final frame of this match. Fresh 15 on the clock. Hornets up 3-0. We'll be starting with Nolan, Ferrara, and Ivany, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Nolan knocked off the puck, slides back to Helmer. As the puck is pounded down in the Edina end. Bauer from the backside. Reverses course, looks up ice, and it looks like there's a lot of water on the ice, so it could be sticky. As Helmer now sends it to Nolan, intercepted by the Stampede as they try to drive in. Now into the high slot, thrown down into the corner. A crossing shot, not sure what it was, but Stampede wheeling on the circle, throwing it down low. Knocked off the puck, Nolan sends it up to Ivany, pinched right back down. Stampede controlling in the zone, wheeling down. Now stolen by Ivany as Ivany breaks with speed, rolls down. Tries to drive it through and he's stopped. Another shot is fired over the glass. And the puck is sent down. I'm single-handed. My cameraman had to take a call, so apologies for the camera work. As Dorsey Ewers and Hester roll on, backed up by Mizzelt and Darlene. From behind, it's punched all the way around. Darlene holds the line and throws it right back down. From behind the net, Mizzelt plows his man off and has to be picked up by Darlene in the neutral zone. He looks, he long saucer pass up to Ewers. Knocked off the puck, Ewers still holding the line as he drives across and gets it to Hester. Hester now sliding out on Dorsey's backside. Dorsey picks it up, looks. Back to Darlene. Darlene punches it down into the slot and is swept away by the Stampede. Now picked up by Mizzelt. Mizzelt cycles back in his own end, slides it across to Darlene. All the way up to Ewers. And is chased down into the corner. Dorsey ties up his man. Boys battling for possession. Stampede come away. Hassled by Hester behind that net. Trying to get it out front. And it's poked out of the zone where Darlene retrieves. Darlene tried to send it up to Mizzle. And just banked into the neutral zone. Stampede from the backside. Looking across. Now trying to drive up. Mizzle stopping that play. Darlene last man back. It's still rolling through. Darlene sends it up to Wilkins. Wilkins across. He gets knocked off. And Mizzle takes a run at his man. Darlene from the backside. Looks up. Long stretch pass. This will go down for an icing. Somebody's a Grateful Dead fan. We got some Dead going. As Nolan sets up on the draw with Kurvita and Wilkins. Backed up by Potts and Potter. Puck slides across the slot. Wilkins picks it up and rolls through the neutral zone. Driving down across the line. Sliding it across and it's intercepted. Nolan in the corner. Shovels it across to Kurvita to Wilkins. Wilkins from the corner, working it, back to Nolan. Nolan slides it back to Potts. Potts drives it on net, and it's snagged out of the air by the Stampede tender. The 11:50 on the clock. The winner of this game will play either Apple Valley Egan or Winnipeg in the championship. Puck tied up on the dot. Kurvita slides it back to Potts. Potts fires it on net. A low shot slides across. Boys piled up in the corner. Wilkins driving at it. Kurvita in, helping to dig it out. Comes across. Stampede trying to drive it out. Potter throws it right back down to Wilkins. Wilkins slides it back to Potts. Potts looks from the point. Over to Potter. Potter fires it on net. There's a rebound. Nobody home. As now the Stampede pitch it around Potts and look to drive it down deep. Potts tying up his man. Short side pass, and it's covered up, and there's frothiness in front of the net. As Potter takes great umbrage at the Stampede player who is harassing Banbury. As Dorsey, Ivany, and Ferrara roll on, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Dorsey set to take the drop. Slides across. Stampede hold. They wheel it from the circle. Try to slide it down. Bauer disrupts play and he slides it up on the wall to the point. Punched right back down. Bauer again slides it out. And it sneaks past the Stampede defender. It has to be collected behind the net. Ivany in, disrupting. Stampede looking for a long stretch pass. Tipped aside by Helmer, who looks up ice. He's knocked off the puck. Ferrara sends it back to Bauer. Bauer up to Dorsey. Dorsey pinches it up to Ivany. Ivany crosses the line, wheels in. He's wheeling against three guys from the corner, pitching it behind the net. Dorsey in. Boys piled up, Ferrara in there. Everyone's digging. And the Stampede come away, sliding it across the ice. The pass doesn't connect, and it's a foot race with Bauer on the wall. Stampede are ridden off the puck, and it comes away to Helmer to Ferrara. Ferrara, long cross-ice pass to Ivany. Ivany gains the line, wheels in. Dorsey's in front of the net. It's out, it's rebounding, it's banging. Missile from the slot. He loses the handle. He loses it again. And now it's a foot race. Dahlin's going to get there first as he sweeps the puck around the backside of the net from the near side corner. Trying to chip it up. Ferrara now looks, sends it up to Ivany. Ivany and Dorsey crossing the line, wheeling in. From the slot, knocked off the puck, and the Stampede counter back the other way with less than 10 minutes to play. Across the line, Mizzle stands up his man and blows him up. Dahlin from behind the cage. Dahlin grabbing. Look at that. They're fighting down there, down to the ice. And there's going to be something. It was an all-out wrestling match. So we're going to get coincidentals at 9:21. Dahlin has shown the gate along with his Stampede counterpart. As Nolan and Ewers roll on with Hester, Potter, and Potts. Off the draw, Nolan and his skates. Comes away to Ewers, pitches it up, and the Stampede counter right back. Driving across the line, throwing it down to Potter. Potter cycles from the corner and throws it over to Potts. Potts looks up ice, gets it to Ewers. Ewers chips it up to Nolan. Nolan to Ewers. Across the line, and is just offside. I don't think it was offsides. Nolan straddled the line pretty well. But nonetheless, off the draw, Potts surveys and punches it right down into the Stampede end. A little miscommunication between the goalie and the Stampede defender. Ewers, short side shot, turned away. Ewers again. Shot goes wide. As Potter bangs it right back down to Nolan. Nolan from the slot, sliding it across to Hester. Hester loses the handle. Another shot, a rebound, banging from the point. Potter, banging. Nothing. It's sent up to Potter. Potter drives it right back down to Nolan. Nolan sweeps across the high slot, firing a shot over the net. Hester from the corner. Wheels, deals, looks. Back to Potts. Potts to Potter, or to Hester. Hester drives it down to Ewers. Ewers in the corner. Sweeps across the dot, looks. Leaves it to Hester. Hester can't find the handle. Stampede now, punch it out, past Potts, and Potter is the last man back. As he looks up ice, he gets it to Ewers. Ewers tries to slide across the line, and it's sent right back down with 8 minutes to play. Potts from behind the net. With speed, now rolling. Through the neutral zone, it's Potts. It's Potts all day long as he slides it across the line. From the backside, the Stampede now look to exit the zone. It's intercepted by Hester. The Stampede are persistent, and they drive it down all the way to Helmer. Helmer, long stretch pass to Kurvita. Kurvita gains the line, slides it across. Wilkins, it's a hot pass. He couldn't handle it. Now it's back to Kurvita. Hops over his stick. Bauer pinches up on the wall. Hornets hold the zone, and they throw it down, and now it's punched out. Helmer from deep in the Hornet territory, up to Wilkins. Disrupted pass, and it's punched right back down for an offsides with 7:14 on the clock. Hornets maintaining the steady 3-0 lead as they look to seek a berth in the championship game. Dorsey, Wilkins, Kurvita. Helmer, Bauer. Wilkins now gains the line, fires it across to Kurvita. Disrupted pass, Kurvita leaves it to Bauer. Bauer fires it and it hits traffic as it slid up to Helmer. Helmer punches it down to Dorsey. Dorsey across the slot, slides it down. Wilkins firing. And the centering pass couldn't be handled by Kurvita. Stampede now with numbers. Slide it up on the boards, and this will go down for an icing. Dorsey on the drop. Powers his way through. Wilkins from the corner. Looks, slides it back to Bauer. Bauer from the point to Helmer. Helmer unloads. There's a tip. There's a save. It's out front. Bauer tries to punch it home. Now Helmer from the point. Unloads. There it is. Free. Banging. Nothing. From the corner. Back to Bauer. Bauer holds. Punches up his man. Dorsey in there trying to wheel it. Comes away to Wilkins, who drives it down to the near side. Can they hold it? Dorsey flings it right back down to Wilkins. Wilkins from behind the cage, looking to center. Kurvita now on it, sliding up the far side wall, picked off by Dorsey. Dorsey tried to send it over to Helmer, disrupted. Now it's Helmer, driving it down into the Stampede end with 6 minutes left on the clock. Kurvita trying to center it across, and the Stampede intercept, but Kurvita's persistent. Look at that. He's banging it. Now it's to Dorsey. Dorsey slides it across to Ferrara. Ferrara, he can't find the wood. Now Ferrara from the corner, looking. Oh, and he's yanked off the puck. There's going to be a penalty for sure, and indeed that is the case. Withholding is the call at 5:45. The Hornets will be on the man advantage. Shots are 43-13. As Ivan E. Ewers and Potter roll on, backed up by Darlene. And Wilkins is out there. Behind the cage, Stampede sweep it around to the far side, picked off by Darlene at the point. Walking across the line, looking for a lane, all the way down. Ewers blows a tire. It's sent up on the wall, Darlene from the slot. Looking, trying to slide it across. Now the Stampede, countering with numbers. 2-on-1 situation. Ewers rolls back, covers it, and Ivany disrupts the play before a centering pass can be made. Now, Darlene with speed, gaining on the right side, rolling in. Darlene fires over the cage. Held on the wall, Wilkins. He sends it back to Ewers at the point. Ewers sneaks it through. Ewers tries to drive it into the slot, and it's disrupted, and Darlene on the backside sweeps it up. Sends it over to Ewers. Ewers up to Ivany. Ivany back to Darlene with this free-flowing, good passing hockey. Darlene across the line, drops it to Ewers. Ewers on the slot, looking, firing. It's a clank. That was clank. Ewers from the point, wheels around, looking. With patience, rolling in on the dot. Firing shot. There's the rebound. It's banging. It's nothing. It's in. No, it's not in. All the way across. Another shot by Ivany over the net. Ewers from the near side. He's picked off, and here comes the Stampede with a 2-on-1 situation. Rolling across the line. Looking to get a shot. Sliding across. It's kicked in. That is called off. It was kicked in. No goal. Ivany's upset about something. Displeasure voiced by the fans of both sides. as the refs confer with 4:17 on the clock. And they are calling it a goal. Unbelievable. He kicked it in. So the score is 3-1.
Whose call was it? Not yours.
Nolan, Hester, Kervita, Bauer, Mizzelt. Off the draw, tied up. Nolan comes away, swings it down to Bauer, who circles back. Looking up, he gets it to Mizzelt. Mizzelt through the red line. He tries to work his way through. It's picked up by Bauer. Bauer across the line, working his way around the circle, stopping short. Back to Mizzelt at the point, back to Bauer. Bauer on the circle, drives it down low to Hester. Hester back to Nolan. Nolan firing it, and it's saved by the Stampede tender with 3:51 on the clock. Off the draw, sent back to Bauer at the point. Over to Helmer. Helmer looks, drives in, fires. Sticked aside by the Stampede tender. Nolan from the wall. Back to Bauer. One-time cranker. Steered away. Hester tries to push it back. The Stampede trying to drive it out. Kervita looking to center. Bank ding. Yes. And Hester drives it home on a free puck in the slot. Hornets regain their 3-goal lead with 3:30 on the clock. Shots 49-13. As Dorsey, Ferrara, and Ivany are on, backed up by Potts and Potter. Stampede drive across the line. A shot fired wide. Ferrara up, tying up his man on the boards. Potter now looking from the corner, shoveling it up on the wall. Sent it up. Ferrara slides it across to Ivany. Ivany and Dorsey rolling through the neutral zone, gaining the line, wheeling all the way around. It's Ivany. He's ridden off the puck. Dorsey from behind the net slides it around to Ivany. Ivany looks, tries to toe drag. He's knocked off the puck with 3 minutes on the clock. Puck right out front, banging. Dorsey can't turn the corner. Stampede having a hard time breaking out of their own zone. Sliding now up on the line. Stampede with numbers. Try to drive it, and they bang it down, and they get an offsides. With 2:47 on the clock. Hornets in a commanding lead. But at some point, we should see the Stampede goalie race off the ice. Dorsey on the draw. Puck comes away. Dorsey now through the red line, through the blue line. Knocked off the puck as it's sent down behind. Stampede trying to drive it up on the wall. Dorsey in disrupting. Stampede now throwing it across. Wheeling down, gaining the line. Potter, last man back, sweeps it off the puck, but the Stampede hold it on the line. Ferrara picks it up on the backside, slides it up to Ivany. Ivany now breaks through the neutral zone with speed, rolling down, 3-on-2 situation. Ivany toe drags through, still wheeling, still dealing, and saved by the Stampede tender. With 2:13 on the clock. As Kervita, Wilkins, and Nolan roll on with Mizzelt and Darlene. Off the draw, puck tied up, banging away. Wilkins from behind the cage. Looking. Sliding it back to Mizzelt at the point. Mizzelt rolls in, looks for a lane, slides it around, back to Wilkins. Mizzelt and Wilkins tied up as we're under 2 minutes. Kervita now in there. Kervita comes away. Sliding it back to Nolan. Nolan at the point. Looks in. Fires. Hits traffic. Now Mizzelt from the corner. Looks. Sweeps around. A long shot hitting traffic. The Stampede now throw it up ice. And it banks off. And we have an icing with 1:31 on the clock. Nolan on the draw, puck sent back into the corner. Wilkins battling his man. Nolan from behind the net, looks around, wheels around the circle, into the slot, looking. All the way around, sliding it to Darling. Darling just had to punch it down. Now, mizzled in, looking, driving, trying to find a center. There's the center, there it is. Kervita bangs it, and it's in. Kervita found the free puck right out front. The Hornets have pretty much sealed this with 1:10 to go. It is now 5-1. So Dorsey, Hester, Ewers on, backed up by Helmer and Bauer. Puck slides to the near side. Stampede now gains the line, rolls in, around the circle. Looking to center, a short side shot flies over the net as the Stampede try to hold the zone. Ewers presses his man into the boards, and Bauer sends it up the wall. Here's a break, and Ewers is taken down. Stampede now driving across the blue line, throwing it up on the near side. Swept aside, but now driving. Stampede rolling in. A weak shot slides to the side with 40 seconds left. From the corner, Stampede are desperate. Banging around out front. Tyler makes a save. A lot of frothiness. It's held at the point. It's firing, and it's saved by Banbury with 30 seconds left. Stampede have decided not to pull their goalie given the goal differential. Dorsey on the draw. Puck tied up on the line. He can't find it in his skates. Swept aside. Ewers, nice little toe drag as he races down. He's got Dorsey sliding it across. Dorsey leaves it to Hester. Hester tries to poke it through. Nothing. It's a Stampede counter with speed. Rolling through the neutral zone. Gaining on the right side. Firing a shot. Stopped by the stick of Tyler Banbury as Potter pushes his man up into the glass. 5 seconds to play. Stampede desperate. Throwing it across, a one-timer. It's up in the air. It's over. Hornets will roll to the championship game at 3:15 this afternoon. Your score, 5-1. Shots on goal, 51 for the Hornets, 19 for the West Fargo Stampede, who have been sent packing back to their slightly west border town that they came from. So it's must-see appointment TV this afternoon as the Hornets are in the championship. We'll see you then.